If you come to the conference in person, you don't know who you're going to bump into in the hallway. You don't know exactly who you're going to run into at dinner, who you're going to end up sitting across from at the lunch table, but they could be your future collaborator, your future colleague.
Okay, so we'll roll without that. So I'm Dave. I'm the lead software engineer at SciTec. We've got a booth out there. Come talk to us. So as more or less the senior software engineer in the company, we all work at some place where we've got coding standards, we've got style guidelines. Someone has to write those. At SciTec, that's me. So if you're in the position of writing those, what are you trying to do? You're trying to maximize the readability of your code because you need everyone to be able to read it, right? And so I will just remind everyone that if you find the maximum of a function, one of the signs of that is that every direction gets worse, right? If you're at the top of the hill, every direction is down. So what we're going to talk about is absolutely the most crucial decision for how you make your code readable. Clearly, it's how much you indent, right? This is not the most crucial, okay. But someone has to decide, right? So we presume if we graph readability versus how much you're indenting your code by, that there is a graph here. We don't know what it is, we might have to measure it, but there's something there, right? So we may have to measure this, we do it empirically, and there's going to be error bars. That's okay, but we'll see what we can do. So obviously the question is, how many of you indent by 2? All right, half-ish. How many of you indent by 4? Okay, yeah, 4 is more popular, but they're both popular. They've been around for a while. So I'm going to, let's put 2 there with some error bars on. I don't know what the vertical scale is, but it's 2's over there someplace. More people indent by 4. Maybe it's a little higher. Maybe I should have given it more credit, but you know, the error bars overlap because some people like 2, some people like 4. If one was clearly better or worse, people wouldn't be using it. But can we all agree that indenting by 1 is a bad idea? Can we all agree that indenting by 0 is a terrible idea? Thank you very much. Let's go the other way, because look, the slope is going down, right? Now, if we go up to 5, who indents by 5? Nobody, right? Nobody indents by 5. So it can't be that great. All right? I've never heard of anybody indenting C or C++ by 6. Anybody out there? Okay, right? Now, I claim that 7 is even further down if you ignore all the unrepentant Fortran programmers who are still welcome. You can come in. You just have to admit that the 70s want their punch cards back. Now, 8 is interesting. Who indents by 8? Oh, I see a couple of people, right? So maybe it's not so bad, but then we have to deal with the Linux kernel anomaly. Because we all know that Linus has got some very strong opinions about this, right? You don't have to read all this. Basically, if you don't indent by 8, you're being mathematically incorrect, and you're back in the dark ages. What he's really doing is keeping people from writing functions with multiple nested loops, because if each one indents by 8, it goes off the edge of the screen, and then people stop it. I agree with the sentiment. There's better ways to do it, but never mind. But if we go back to our graph, I would just like to point out this little hole in the middle. There is a number between 2 and 4. If you're dealing with how much you indent by, that might be a surprise because it's not a power of 2. I know it's not a power of 2. But now I don't know what the value is. Now, who indents by 3? Anybody? A couple of fellow travelers. Okay, look. This is some of Jason Turner's code, just because it was handy, right? Here it is indented by 2. The people who indent by 2 like it. The people who indent by 4, it's not enough, right? Here's 4, right? Okay. If you like 2, that's too much. This is 3. Come on now, that's pretty good, right? Let's look at it one more time, right? 2, 3, 4. I was on a team who had to decide this a while back. Half the team wanted 2. Half the team wanted 4. I proposed 3. Everyone was surprised that this was an option. I'm just saying. Now, Now, we do not have audio, so I cannot play you the clip, but I will remind you that we've actually known that 3 is the right amount to indent by for decades. And we know that because there were people telling us this way back in one of the funniest movies of all time, and they've got one of the most popular languages today named after them. So I can't play it for you, but Monty Python and the Holy Grail, the holy hand grenade scene, the number of the counting shall be 3. 4 shalt thou not count, neither countest thou 2, unless thou then proceed on to 3. 5 is right out. Go look. They knew. Thank you.